Trying to find the feed.
We are live on Channel 8 and YouTube.
Okay. All right. Good evening, everybody from the Board of Health. Sorry, I'm trying to find it on here. It's not popping up yet for me. Nope. Still not seeing us. Could be my internet.
Jane, I can bring it up on my phone. Don't worry about it. And
Okay, if you can do that, because it's just not popping up on mine.
yep, that's okay.
It will as soon as you tell me you have it. All right, so minutes from last month will be reviewed next month. And we'll go over right now, the Board of Health activities. Earl, did you have any questions?
Nope.
I did not either. They look good to me. Lori's busy as always. So we'll ask you to give us your report, Lori, which includes COVID updates, etc.
So as of today, the state went into phase 4, part 1, and that changed a few things for our local businesses, such as indoor gatherings at private residences. They still would like to see it not more than 10 people indoors, 25 people outdoors. Indoor gatherings at event venues and public settings, 100 people indoors, a maximum of 150 outdoors. It's very strange because I'm not sure what's happening, but as you know, our counts have gone up. From last week, we were down to 3, and this week we shot up to 22. For anybody who's watching, the 22 really consists of about 5 different residences. So families really had it spread between family members. We have there's 6 people in one, 4 people in another. So the recommendation is still face coverings, hand washing, social distancing, not to just let your guard down all the way at this point. We're still getting vaccinations done. I'm sure everybody's heard there's a shortage on vaccine still at this point. Our clinics at the PACC, they're right now still doing them, but they're getting the second doses for people who have had the first doses. Once they've got that cleaned up, they'll move forward again with giving out first rounds. We've had close to 500 people get vaccines at the ACC. Cindy Shea and her crew over at the Council on Aging have been keeping in touch with our senior population. And she said that they're about 75% vaccinated, in line with what the state has said they've been doing. So that's good. I mean,
that's great.
The shortage, man, if we could just get the vaccine, it'd be so much easier. But everybody's in the same boat. It's not just us. So total recovered through this whole ordeal is 531 people. It's been okay. And as far as I'm working with the school on some functions that they'd like to have, it's a lot of information to decipher.
Yeah, and everybody's interpreting things very differently.
Yes. Thankfully, the state has a lot of contacts that we can quiz, and they usually shoot back answers pretty quick. So
good.
They've been really good to us. And it appears to still be going that way. They're very supportive.
Good.
I didn't know, do you guys have any questions or?
I don't have any questions. Your daily reports to us have been fabulous. So thank you for doing that and keeping us in the loop with that.
Okay.
How do we stack up against other towns percentage wise? Numbers are one thing. I have no idea how many residents we have, but out of 532, you said, I think.
Yep, we have.
What percentile does that put us in?
Right now, we're in a good spot where we're still not in the red right now. So we have about 8,000 residents, maybe a little bit more than that. So, you know, 0.5%.
Right. Now, like
I'm sorry,
Gardner,
5%.
Gardner, Phillipston, Royston, their numbers similar or higher or lower? Just for comparative reasons. No, just strictly for anybody who's asking, because I'm sure people are curious as to what towns are more of a hotspot still, or.
Actually, out in this area, we're pretty low compared to everybody else. We really can't compare to Gardner because unfortunately, poor Gardner has to include the prison system, and that it ripped through there. So they had a very high count because of that. But you know, we're very lucky, Templeton. We're pretty spread out, and people for the most part have been doing what they're supposed to do. We're on the low end. We have been.
I looked at comparisons, I think yesterday, day before, and we were really low compared to a lot of places. So Hubbardston was low.
I mean, numbers are one thing. I was talking percentage points because, you know, if you have 532 cases, which doesn't sound like a lot if you have 100,000 people, but if you've got 5,000 people or 4,000 people or 2,000 people, it's a higher number. I just trying to give anybody who's watching or curious, a ballpark of where we stand.
And actually, I can include that in my next report, which also goes on TCTV. That way, if somebody wants to know a percentage, I can shoot it out there on the next.
I know that the media, when you're watching the news, they always give this percentages, and just I think it would give everybody a more of a positive outlook, saying,
sure.
You know, you see the numbers last week. We were down to 3 and 2 and 3 and 4 cases, and it's like, oh, it's great. Now we shoot up to 22. It's like, oh, geez, you know what's going on,
right?
But in the big picture, that those extra 18 cases, although significant, aren't terribly, you know, catastrophic.
And you're exactly right. So I will add that into my next report so that people can see. Yeah. And I wanted to let people know too, there was a lot of the Baldwinville Cumberland Farms actually had a positive case with a person who works there, and they followed protocol beautifully and shut down and did the proper cleaning, and they did the proper contact tracing. And I think a lot of people wanted to know what was going on over there. So it really was, they did a great job. They followed through with their own regulations that they had set, and it was much more strict than what was required.
Oh, wow. Okay. I'd hardly ever go there. Didn't even notice they weren't there. So I know my office has been pretty strict, and thanks to you for helping us with that. But the contact tracing still leaves a lot to be desired. One of the girls who works with us once a week bought a new car, was exposed at the car dealer. She got a phone call like 8 days after her exposure that she had been exposed, and told her that she had to quarantine. She's like, look, I've been to work, I've had patients, and they said, oh, you don't have to notify them. Don't worry about it. You were in all the PPE. And she was just like blown away. She goes, I had no idea.
Right.
So
we have a question on the YouTube, and oh, never mind, it's gone. It was retracted. So other than that, I don't know if you have anything else you want me to add into the report, or other than the percentage.
No, just to try to help people understand that where we're coming from, that the numbers, if they call and get them 1 week and then you see a big spike, you know,
that's a great idea.
Like I said, it's significant if you're the one that has it, but in the big picture, it's really not that big a deal.
Yeah. honestly, on my today's report, when I reported that we had 22 cases, I really should have put in there, I should have just noted that it was a few families that really
You did
constituted
know.
the
You
majority.
did,
You did.
Oh, I did?
You did.
Yes.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, okay.
Laura, you're way too busy. Yeah, you did tell us that. So
Okay, all right.
I don't know if that went out to, if that's on the Facebook page or not, but that was, I think that's exactly what they put on, right? I haven't checked that, so.
Okay, yeah,
But yes, you did
it is what they put
mention
on.
that.
Okay,
And today was probably the first morning that I didn't check out the urgent care that I drive by, that when Lori sends the updates, I can always kind of, it goes by how many people I see at urgent care. And I was late for work, so I didn't check. When I drove by, I did not look. So I would have been curious to see if there was more people there as well. So.
I really haven't heard anything. We have the meetings with the Haywood group on Wednesdays and DPH on Tuesdays and Fridays. And I really haven't heard, there hasn't been any huge surges that have caused a lot of problems for urgent care or ERs right now. Okay, the question did come up again. The number jumped to 22. How many of those people are in the same family? So out of the 22 cases that we have, there's it was 4 or 5 families that constituted the majority of those. We had 3 individual cases. The rest were interfamily. Hopefully that covered it.
Thank you. And I finally was able to get it to load on mine too, so I saw the same question.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Any other questions, Earl, or comments?
No.
Okay. And so the chair report, the only thing, I sent the information that Lori requested to Mrs. Farrell regarding fluoride. And I sent a copy to Lori too, because she needed that. She needed another email from me.
Quite all right.
That was it. And anything, Earl, are you running for Board of Health again? Did you get your papers?
Walking at a brisk pace. Yes, I am.
Awesome. That's good. Now, walking at a brisk pace and not running, just walking. Okay. Well, we're glad that you're doing that. So thank you. I think, do you have anything else you want to add, Lori?
That pretty much covered it for tonight as far as COVID goes.
And are you in tomorrow morning? I can stop by and sign those papers.
Yes,
So,
I am in tomorrow morning.
Do you want me to call you or text when I get there?
Yeah, just text me when you get to the parking lot and I'll let you in.
Okay, perfect. Okay. So when do we want to have our next meeting?
We usually do the 4th Monday of the month. I can't bring up my calendar, I'm sorry.
So that is, that's actually the 26th, a Monday.
I don't think it's a holiday, so if you guys are good with it, we can make it work.
Okay, so April 26th at 7 p.m. Perfect. All right, then I guess we can make a motion to adjourn. What do you think, Earl?
Sure, I'll second it.
Okay, so all in favor? We're all set.
Great. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lori, for everything you've been doing. We appreciate it.
Thanks.